Gambling can be addictive, but many people still try their luck and hope to win. The luxurious casinos around the world are simply jaw-dropping. Here, you can indulge in Michelin-starred restaurants, crazy nightlife, and presidential suites, experiencing the thrill of gambling. Similar casinos exist in Malaysia, and today's story takes place at Genting Highlands, Malaysia. Genting Highlands is a large entertainment city featuring luxurious hotels, theaters, shopping centers, amusement parks, and the only legal casino in Malaysia. Although it's located in a remote area and about an hour's drive from Malaysia's capital, Kuala Lumpur is situated on a mountain peak over 1,800 meters high, making it a popular tourist destination, particularly for visitors from neighboring Singapore who often drive up to the casino for a fun-filled vacation. The founder of Genting Highlands Resort, Lin Wu Tong, was a Malaysian Chinese who saw potential in a flat land on Bukit Ulu Kali, north of Kuala Lumpur, to build a holiday resort. In 1965, construction for Genting Highlands officially began, and it took a whopping 4 years just to develop the road from the foot to the summit of the mountain. Then, in 1971, the first hotel was completed, and over the past 50 years, the resort has grown to include 6 hotels, 2 apartment blocks, a casino, theme parks, shopping malls, and more. This massive expansion allowed Genting Highlands Resort to hold the Guinness World Record for the world's largest hotel, with a whopping 6,118 rooms from 2006 to 2013. The Genting Highlands Resort was once the largest hotel in the world, until it was surpassed by the Palazzo Hotel in Las Vegas. However, despite being a popular vacation destination, it is also known for its dark reputation as a place where people lose all their money and sometimes take their own lives. As a result, there are many spooky legends surrounding the resort, and today we will be sharing one of the scariest ones, the story of a female ghost who gnaws at a human head. In 1992, a young couple from Kuala Lumpur had just gotten married. Due to their busy work schedules, they had not been able to take a proper vacation. The wife had been wanting to visit Genting Highlands Resort to try her luck in the casino, but her husband had been reluctant to go for some reason. Finally, after much pleading from his wife, the husband agreed to go with her and visit the resort. The couple took advantage of a vacation to visit the Genting Highlands resort with some cash in tow. Along the way, while the wife was excited about the trip, the husband had an unusually solemn expression. After about an hour of travel, they finally arrived at their destination, and the wife was immediately drawn to the casino. So the couple headed straight to the nearby casino as soon as they arrived, without even checking in at the hotel. Once inside, they had a lucky streak and won a lot of money at the gambling tables. But instead of exploring other attractions and activities, they were tempted to continue gambling and stayed at the tables until late at night. However, their luck suddenly turned sour after midnight, and they started losing every bet they made. Frustrated and unwilling to quit, they increased their bets, hoping to win back their losses. But unfortunately, they ended up losing all the money they won earlier that day, as well as the cash they brought with them. They couldn't even afford to rent a hotel anymore, so they had no choice but to drive home in the middle of the night. As they descended the mountain at night, the road was quiet, and there were no residential buildings or even many vehicles along the way. Suddenly, when they reached the halfway point, their car ran out of gas, which was strange because they had checked it before leaving and there was enough fuel. They were puzzled, but there was no one around to help. So the husband got out to seek assistance. Before leaving, he told his wife to stay in the car and wait for him to return, not to leave the car under any circumstances. Shortly after her husband left, the wife began to feel tired and couldn't resist the urge to sleep. She fell asleep in the car, waiting for her husband's return. After sleeping for an unknown amount of time, the wife woke up to find that her husband has not returned yet. She felt nervous being alone in the dark on a mountain, but she remembered her husband's instructions and dared not to leave the car. Something felt off though. Even though they were on a secluded mountain road at night, there should still be cars passing by from the casino. Why was her husband taking so long to find someone to help them refuel? At this moment, there was a sound of something moving on the roof of the car, as well as a knocking sound. The wife was very scared, but because her husband told her not to get out of the car, she could only look out the window and hope to see her husband's figure. When she noticed a strange phenomenon, every passing car suddenly accelerated and left when passing by her without exception. However, those vehicles would slowly return to normal speed after a distance. What could be the reason for this? Just as the wife was wondering, several flashing police cars suddenly approached her from the front. Thinking that she was finally saved, those police cars stopped at a distance in front of her, and the officers on board used a loudspeaker to tell her to get out of the car immediately, but not to look back and to slowly walk toward the police car. because it was a police officer who asked her to get out of the car. Even though the request was strange and made her feel even more scared, she still followed. She got out of the car and slowly walked towards the police car, step by step. When she was almost at the police car, she couldn't help but look back out of curiosity. The wife was terrified when she saw a disheveled female ghost on the car roof, with a horrifying face and an open mouth biting into a human head, which turned out to be her long-departed husband's. The police officer immediately pulled her into the car and drove away from the scene. The next day, the police returned to the area and found her husband's lifeless body in the woods about 200 meters away from the car. But the strangest thing was that his head was missing. After the incident, it was widely reported by the media, and many Malaysians became terrified. The wife couldn't understand why her kind-hearted husband had encountered such a fate, so she went to a famous temple to seek answers from a master. The master asked her, "Do you know how your husband came into possession of a large sum of money?" It turned out that years ago, a female accountant had embezzled public funds due to financial difficulties and was unable to repay the money. She then went to a casino with the remaining money, hoping to win more and repay the debt. She planned to win money to repay her debt. Unfortunately, the female accountant lost her money at the top of the Genting Highlands and reported it to the police in hopes that someone would return it. The police told her to wait at home for updates, but she was too anxious to leave. After waiting for several days with no news of her lost money, the police told her that such a large sum was likely already taken and would not be returned. Hearing this, the accountant left the police station, feeling disappointed and hopeless. Carrying a deep grudge, the accountant returned to Genting Highlands with the intention of ending her life. Before leaving, she had vowed to seek revenge against the person who had taken her money. Her strong resentment kept her spirit wandering on the highlands, waiting for the day when her husband, the one who had taken the money, would return, and when he did, she finally got her revenge. Thank you for watching this episode, and make sure to check out our next video. Bye.